Hey, this is Dave from metalepidemic.com. Thank you for checking out our YouTube video. Please feel free to hit the subscribe button below if you like this type of content, and we hope you enjoy the review. What's up guys, Dave here from Metal Epidemic, back with another album review. For this review, Duncan Kyle and myself have been checking out the new album from Belgian Death Metal quintet Carnation. The band's new album, Where Death Lies, will be released on September 18th via Season of Mist Records. So guys, some death metal just for a change. And this one comes from Carnation, who have been putting out their kind of brand of crushing death metal since around 2013. And Where Death Lies is their second full-length album.
Oh, dearie me. Tell where death lies in Dave's vocal cords right now.
Oh. Sorry, could you explain to me what a full-length cough is?
That's a full-length cough there. It's one that goes on and on and on and on. Yeah. I'm not editing these out, ladies and gents. Dave has coronavirus, right? He won't be with us probably in the next show. It's just going to be me and Kyle talking about how great Dave was and how we have no new music because it all got sent to his email, which we don't have the password for. So,
oh, rest in peace, Dave. Okay.
I like how you write your own eulogy. I like it.
Yeah.
Live on air.
Yeah, it's better than my one.
Only
it's like,
saying nice things.
Yeah, Dave was a cunt. Now he's dead. So there we go.
And now he's a dead one.
Well, I'm just removing my email password from my will right now, Duncan. You've had it.
I'll be honest, if that's what I got left in your will and that was it, I would fucking shite on your grave. He left me what? Oh, his email password. Nice, that's great. Oh, look at all the fucking spam porn emails he gets.
Hey, some of that's good.
Why is he answering no thanks to the penis enlargement ones?
And what the important thing here is Dave has a very wealthy Nigerian uncle. All I have to do is send him a PIN number. So, there we go.
Oh, this is went way off track.
Right, so Where Death Lies from Belgian Death Metal.
Death Lies. Right, okay, so what I was going to say was, I'd never heard of Carnation before. And to be honest, if I didn't read in the press release, I would have put my house on the fact that these guys were Swedish. Like, 100%, I'd have put money on it. This band are from Sweden. And I am so wrong.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're not, in the grand scheme of things, they're not that far from Sweden. You know what I mean?
They're not.
It's not as if they're like, I put my house on it and then I found out they were Swahili, Duncan. They were like Swahili death metal quintet. They do. I mean, they wear their, like, Carnation are one of these bands that 100% wear their influence directly on the sleeve. No fucks given. Yeah. No fucks given.
Yeah, it has that kind of Swedish death metal vibe, a la Entombed and Grave, Unleashed. A very old school feel to it. That has that kind of the Boss HM2 type guitar tone that you're used to hearing from those types of bands. Mm-hmm. And this thing kicks off all guns blazing, very much setting the tone for the rest of the album. Iron Discipline, blast into action instantly, no gimmicky intro or build up, just setting the tone. It's right in there, thunderous drums, that kind of thick Swedish death metal guitar tone that I mentioned, and vocalist Simon Dusson just absolutely laying waste to everything in his path. His tone is fucking monstrous. It's like picking up like a cross between like George Corpse Grinder and Glenn Benton from Dayside.
Yeah.
Or even what's that guy's name from Cryptopsy, Matt something. Can't remember his surname, but yeah, a little kind of hint of Matt from Cryptopsy in there as well. Great tone, kind of like myself with the old Rona here, just visceral sounding. Which it fits the sound of the band perfectly. When you've got like the musical equivalent of a chainsaw to the face, then vocals with a bit of intensity usually fit pretty well alongside it. As you said though, like they wear their influences on their sleeve. That's fairly obvious, but I think where a lot of bands will try and like emulate that 80s and 90s death metal sound and like fail miserably. Carnation don't fall into that category for me at all. I find that they've kind of perfected the songwriting characteristics and traits of the genre and delivered it in like devastating fashion. What about you guys? What you making of Carnation?
I will let Death Metal Kyle take the wheel on this one.
You know what? I loved it. There's just no other way to say it. I really did. It was like, I listened to the first couple of songs, I was like, these riffs are fucking good. Holy crap. And the vocals are fucking good. And the tone is fucking good. And the drumming is fucking... Okay, I'm into it. That's it. And I got all the way through the album, up right through the other end of track 9, and I was like, is that it? Come on, there's more. Give me more. And there wasn't any, so I just started again, track 1, and just went through it. The production was on point. Like you say, they're definitely wearing their inspiration right out there in public for everyone to see. Like, we're from Belgium, but we wish we lived in Sweden. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good. Everything was just from beginning to end. I really enjoyed it. I did have one complaint, I guess, but I can't remember what it is now. So I guess it's nothing. Excellent. I think there was even. There was one point they slowed it down, or they slowed something down. There was this really ridiculously chuggy, like, riff, and it just made me want to go, with the face and everything.
Yeah.
That's what I remember. I don't remember which song it was, but it's just like, I loved it. So
yeah, I think this album is dripping in old school death metal. It'll, put you in mind of bands like, as I mentioned, Entombed and Dismember, Bloodbath even. It's got the groove, it's got a bit of melody in there, not too much melody, but it's filled to the brim with crushing riffs. It's not the most technical of death metal albums, but I think old school death metal never, it was never supposed to be like overly technical, and I think these guys don't need to be either. Their musicianship and songwriting speaks for itself on this release. I thought that the album had a really good kind of mix of and pace and rhythm like throughout. Most of the tracks tend to start with a kind of burst of speed, and then they'll kind of settle into a groove as the track progresses. And when they settle into that mid-paced groove, like on the title track, for example, you can't help but get totally sucked in by its like sheer heaviness. There was a little curveball though. I remember, I think it was the last track. Is it Reincarnation? I think it was Reincarnation, where a little bit of keyboards come into the mix, Duncan.
Yeah, that's what I heard as well. I remember that, and I was like, yes, do it!
Yes, it was me. They asked me to put them down for one day. It was a steal. They didn't pay me that much, and in fact, the check never arrived. So, guys, if you're listening, I'll forward you my address again. Yes, I did notice that as well, Dave.
Yeah, I thought I gave it a more of a kind of gothic-y, almost like a symphonic vibe, but it was a nice kind of change of tone, and it wasn't too much that I felt like out of place either. And it's that track is like over 7.5 minutes, I think, that last track, but it captured. Sorry, no, that's not the last track, but it captured a lot of really cool elements from Carnation. It's the very last track, Chasm. Is it Chasm's
Abysmal? Yeah.
Abysmal, yeah. That's the longest track on the album. It's the one that's kind of over 7.5 minutes. Some great riffs on that track. Really kind of dissonant sounding riffs. And also a little bit of melody from the vocalist as well, Simon Dusson, which I really enjoyed. I'd like to hear more of that on some future releases, actually. Very good at what they do, and if you're kind of craving that kind of particular sound or style of death metal, then this will absolutely satisfy that craving.
This is where I come in. Yeah, this is where I come in. I'm maybe not as high on this as you guys, if I'm honest.
Oh, come on.
Well, we know we have laid the cards down and the foundations are deep on Duncan's particular proclivity with death metal. It either works for me really, really, really well, or I appreciate what it does, but it maybe doesn't gel with me as much. Carnation fall into that. There's a lot of elements I really like about it, but the sum of all its parts together became a bit repetitive for me. Right. And I liked, to be honest, I actually liked the back half of the album more than the opening half. because I started to see them trying to do something a bit different. There was a bit of variety. They were starting to open things up a bit more. There is absolutely no doubt in my mind that even amongst death metal fans, I am in the minority on this one. This album was not geared at me, ladies and gents, at all. It's geared at you, and you will love it. Because everything you're saying, I think the guitar work is impressive, without being necessarily outstanding, but it doesn't have to be. The production is fucking awesome. Vocally, maybe one of the better death metal vocals I've heard this year that isn't just so fucking viciously guttural that I can't make out what they're doing. This guy has a real tone, which I enjoyed. I like a nice range that fit the music. But yeah, I mean, I listened to it twice, and it didn't play as well the second time for me, which is usually an indicator that it's not quite gelling with me. So yeah, as with a lot of these death metal reviews, Dave keeps throwing at me. Not all of them will stick. So yeah, Carnation maybe just didn't play as well for me as it did with you guys.
Okay. I found the opposite. I found the more I listened to it, the more I loved it, to be honest. But we have had this album for a little while, so I've had a lot of time to kind of just let it kind of sit and marinate. I think for me, like, you have to appreciate this album for what it is. Carnation are very much kind of showing their respect to the kind of gods of death metal from that era, and I think they do it fantastically well. Yeah, you could say it's been done before, but I think when it's done at this kind of level, then I kind of struggle to criticise an album like this, to be honest. It's solid AF, as the kids would say.
I mean,
solid ass fountain, got it.
Yeah. Solid as finger. Nice, Dave. So yeah, I mean, that's the word I would use to describe it. But to me, solid isn't always necessarily the word a band wants to hear when releasing a new album. If you know what I mean. So.
And that's just the way it makes you feel.
Yeah. Oh, well, always. But then I'm recording with you two guys, so that's just that will happen as soon as I hit record.
That's a given.
That's a given. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it's not a bad album by any stretch of the imagination, but I've heard death metal albums which are more in line with my tastes this year, which obviously score higher. This one is certainly more in line with your tastes, and that is cool. We shouldn't all like the same thing every time. So there we are.
Okay, that's fair enough. Rating wise for this one, Ash will kick us off. I will give this a solid, I know, but it's solid, 4 out of 5 from me.
Cool.
Kyle.
Oh, Kyle, sorry.
All right.
You're going last, McLeish.
I was going to give it a 3.5 out of 5, but then I realised their name is Carnation, and on this album they have a track called Reincarnation, and that's an extra half point from me. So 4.
Nice. All right, Duncan.
I'm coming out
Here we go.
3.5. That's pretty much what I give all like really competent, really well written death metal, which doesn't necessarily gel with me. It's 3.5. I appreciate everything that the band is doing here. It's just not my taste. So
Okay.
Oh, half a star below Dave's review. Fling it to the wolves. Oh.
That's right. It's half a star, Duncan. I'm pretty sure you gave me shit last week for giving N Minor half a star less than you.
Because it's a 5-star album.
See?
It's a 5-star album, Dave. And everyone knows it's a 5-star album. It's a 3.5-star album, Dave. Solid.
This is a 4-star album.
Solid as a rock. I'm just going to keep you talking your cell out until your voice goes, and then my word's the last word. And then I edit these anyway, so I'm just going to have you going, listen, it's clearly a 3.5. Like, it's going to work. No, I mean, like, there's if you've never heard them before, you're into anything that Dave's just described, you're going to fucking love it. And there's no way you're not.
Yeah.
If you lean more towards the Duncan side, or as I like to call it, the right side, then yeah, it's a 3.5 album.
I'm fucking giving you the Rona the next time I see you.
Oh dear, this is a silly review now. Right, let's bring it in, Dave. Where can people check out the album?
Bring it in. Yeah, this one drops on September 18th on Season of Mist Records. The album is called Where Death Lies. If you have a look in the description below, I'll give you some links to the band's Facebook page and any pre-orders that are available for the album as well. There's also some links in there to our podcast. Check that out if you've got a chance. And also our playlist, which is on Spotify, gets updated pretty much every day. If you're looking for some new metal, not new metal as in bring it on.
Are you starting putting new metal on? Is there new metal on the playlist now?
No, behave yourself. If you're looking for some brand new metal,
nice, right.
Then check out the playlist. Thanks once again for checking out our, I suppose you can call this a review. It was, close to being not a review, but
it's close to being quarantined by the sound of your voice.
We'll be back with another review very soon if I'm not dead. But until then, take care. Speak to you soon.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.